Good evening, everybody. We want to thank you for joining us tonight. Hopefully, we'll have some good ideas on increasing membership through creative service projects and successful marketing. I'm Rob Head, Lion Rob Head, from the Great Club of Hamel. I am the MD5M GST coordinator. Rob.
Welcome, everyone. I'm Lion Rob Rand with the Minneapolis Downtown Next Generation Lions Club. I serve currently as our multiple global membership coordinator, and I'm really excited to have all of you here with us tonight. It's always a question of how many we're going to have in the session or on the webinar, and it's great to see so many of you. All right.
You're running the slides. All right. So here's a quick look at what we're going to discuss tonight. We're going to talk about the importance of service projects, creative ideas for service projects, marketing strategies for membership growth, and integrating projects and marketing for success.
So again, welcome. Most of us have joined Lions because of service, whether it's because you want to do service or you were invited to help with service. So I want you to think about what brought you into Lions. Maybe it's both, but we all have that one service project also that's close to our heart. So think about the service projects that you do. Think about which one is you feel the most connected to, the one that maybe provides the most for your community. Our objective tonight is to discuss ways to increase our Lions membership through service. And then with that, how are we marketing that service and the impact that we're making on our community? So to begin, what we're going to do is you can utilize the chat for this one. I'm asking you to share one thing that you think helps to increase membership in your community. So again, think of one thing that helps you to increase membership in your community. At this point, I'm not asking you for an actual service project. I'm just asking you to think about one thing that helps increase membership. You can go ahead and put that in the chat, or if somebody wants to unmute and share a thought on that, we'd love to hear you.
Well, this is Stephen from Marlborough, Massachusetts, and we've actually been having a great year. We actually just brought our 10th new member in for the year last night, and it's really been all driven by our marketing on Facebook and making sure that the community knows everything that we're doing.
Excellent. Thank you for sharing.
I agree with the marketing. So when you're doing service projects, you really got to make sure that you use Facebook and the local newspapers and everything else just to get your name out there.
Absolutely. In the chat, I see showing family working together, enthusiasm. Anything else? To ask? Yes, of course, just ask.
The just ask really, it's simple, but it's really true because I'm a part of our VFW and our Legion, and I went years without even asking them. And I asked some of my fellow VFW guys about it, and they said to me, I was waiting and wondering if you were ever going to ask me. And I got 3 members that way.
All right, and I see a couple more in the chat there. We used to use the affiliate membership status to find new members, sharing our service through SM. In my town, we participate in town events, i.e. Sharon Day. All right. Thank you, everybody, for sharing those, and continue to add those through as we keep going. And again, it's making sure that our community has the ability to see the impact that we're making. How are we sharing that information with our community? All right, over to you, Rob.
All right. Why service projects matter. They are the foundation of our Lions Club. The service projects, they'll draw people to your club, see what you do. It'll demonstrate your community impact. and it showcases the membership benefits. Service projects really are the foundation of our clubs. They not only allow us to make a difference in our community, but also attract the people by showing them, here's what we're doing. We do make a difference. If you think about it, when you ask people about Lions Club, what's the first thing they say? Oh, you guys are the ones that collect glasses. By doing different service projects, we're showing them that we do a lot more than just collect glasses. New members are often drawn because of that. I can use an example of my club is we did our Easter egg hunt, which was a simple thing. We just did an Easter egg hunt. Then we included the kids site screening. We ended up screening over 100 kids, and little did we know, but we had a huge Indian community with us, and 90% of that were Indian children. And by able to talk to them and their families, we were able to draw some interest. We're still working on that part about getting them, but definite interest. They didn't even know there was a Lions Club in the area. Go ahead, Rob.
All right, everybody. So we want to start out with an interactive question, and that question is, what are examples of innovative community-focused service projects that could help attract new members? So we're going to be talking about some tips for recruiting, types of projects, but before we start, it's also important to know or useful to share what are we currently doing, keeping in mind that we don't always have to reinvent, we don't have to always create something new, that we can borrow, we can use what's being done. And so we want to give a few minutes to share those projects that really stand out and are impactful in your community. If you have something that you would like to share, you can go ahead and raise your hand, and then we'll kind of try to monitor it that way and give everybody an opportunity that wants to share their project that they would like to share out. Denise, is your hand up for this one?
Yes, it is.
Right, go ahead.
Denise Laudenbach, 5M9, and really excited to share a new project that we started, and it's a lemonade stand. And the lemonade stand is actually built to the size for children to use. And it all started with the collaboration of 7 different clubs sitting around and just talking about ideas. And someone said, hey, isn't it really cool when we were little and we did a lemonade stand? And somebody else said, hey, wasn't it just so much fun? And wouldn't it be cool if every club in our district had a lemonade stand that they could put out at the service projects for kids in the community to sign up to use? With the caveat that prior to being able to work the lemonade stand, the kids have to choose ahead of time where they're going to donate their money or a portion of their money to someone in the community. So then another guy goes, hey, Laudenbach, I've got a community corn feed coming up in 3 weeks. Do you think you could get that lemonade stand built for me by then? And I said, sure. Didn't know how I was going to do it, but called a buddy who had a wood shop, and he built that lemonade stand. And we had it delivered. Joe and my husband and I delivered it out there, and 3 weeks later, and it was really cool. The football team got it out of the back of our truck. The shop teacher got us tools to help put the roof on it. We built it so that it's portable. And the cheerleaders were all ready with their lemonade and their signs, and they made $360 that day to go towards their uniforms. And so by doing that, when we're bringing kids in, and these were all non-Lions, is our target really. But these kids were teaching them collaboration and teamwork and planning and how to count money and marketing and communication and all of that. And then what comes with kids naturally are their parents. So then the parents see what's going on, that the Lions are doing for the community, what the Lions are doing for their kids. And then it's just that kind of that organic growth, grassroots approach, because then the parents are going to want to be involved without us saying, hey, you really should be, because they see that Lions in action and the positive impact that we're helping with their kids and what's important to those kids. So kind of a fun new one going on in 5M9.
Love that. Great idea. Thank you for sharing. Stephen and Sharon.
So, I'm going to throw two at you. One's really easy, and the other takes a little bit more time. The easy one that we started doing last year, and we're trying to do it quarterly, is just to do a food drive by coordinating with supermarkets. And basically, we just set up outside the supermarket for like 6 hours, and we just take shifts, and we have flyers saying, "Here's the needs for the local food pantry," and we just ask people when they go shopping to buy a couple of extra items and just drop it off with us on their way out the door. So literally all we have to do is print these flyers and stand there for 6 hours. And we've collected more food in a day than the food pantry's gotten in any other single collection. And like, so we do that quarterly. So, it's fairly easy.
Well,
And
you know what? I think you need to come sit at the.
Sorry. Okay. The other one that we do, and it is creative, we do what we call a Couch to 5K. And it's a 10-week program. And we just advertise it to the community. And we invite them to come out, people who have never been running before. And we take them on a journey from week 1 to week 10, where we start out with basically 60-second jogs and then a brief period of walking, and just keep alternating. And over the course of 10 weeks, we start running more, walking less, until at the end of the 10 weeks, they're actually ready to run a 5K, and we do a mock 5K run for our group. And it's so obviously that gets the community active, so it's in line with our cause of diabetes, getting people to moving and healthier. But we have like 50 people sign up. We do it twice a year, and we've recruited quite a few of our new members through that program. So it's we can share information, or you can look online for Couch to 5K and see how one runs. But it's been a great resource for us.
That's great. Thank you for sharing. And Susan. Or Suzanne.
Yes, sorry. Denise, great idea. I'm telling you right now, I'm going to steal that one from you. And one thing that we do when we're doing service projects is we are in a town of 600 people, so it's really small. And a lot of times that we do service projects that the community can get involved in, or just for the community to see us, is we do them in the side room of our bar. And it might sound odd, but there's people in there. It's like the social place to go. And we just did tie blankets for Ronald McDonald House. And we got donations of people that were in there that just stopped in to see what we were up to. So it worked well for us, and we gained some interest out of it.
Good, thank you. I couldn't find my unmute there. And Sue, and then we'll be good. Go ahead, Sue.
Okay, can you hear me?
Yep.
Okay, so we do a lot of service work with our community. Anything we can think of that we can help with, we do. And sometimes it's a little disappointing because we're working with groups that are already contributing and serving, so we don't get a lot of service from them, but or a lot of new members from them. But one of our events that we did work on, we work with Grandma's Marathon, and we didn't get a lot of new members, but we got one new member who is really good in marketing. And so it's been just really an exciting year, because even though it's one member, it's a real good change for our club, somebody that's really contributing a lot. So hopefully we're expecting a 10% increase in our pancake day this year.
It's a big pancake day too. All right, thank you. And Cheryl, I see your hand there too.
Thank you, Rob.
Yeah.
So one of the things that we're doing is, I think, which is going to attract a lot of new members, is we applied last fall for a community impact grant. And with that, each zone chair was tasked to go back to their clubs to see what was the service that they wanted to do in their zone. So April 5th, we are having a community service impact day in 5 different areas within the Twin Cities. And those service projects are, again, based on that community area. One of the things we're doing down in the Rosemont southern part of our district is foster care kits. And so we've contacted with that agency, and they have given us a list of 5 different age groups where we are have supplied or going to be putting together bags for each age group, including Build-A-Bears, you know, for the 3 to 5-year-olds. And with that, we've just started publicizing some of the events through some of the big press releases, like the Star Tribune, the Pioneer Press. So with that, we're hoping to attract a lot of new members. Each zone is going to be represented by each club, and they are promoting their own events through bulletin board, if you will, and hoping that we drive the public to that event in their area, and they can then focus to see what is it that Lions are doing and how they are helping their community and hoping to attract new members all at the same time. So not only servicing the community, but attracting new members.
I love it. Thank you. I'm ready to move on, but Tammy, I see your hand, and it feels like we're sharing good ideas here, and so Tammy, I'm gonna call on you here.
Okay. Well, it's actually not my club, but it is a club in my district, is doing something called a resilience workshop in their community. And this is for parents and middle schoolers. As you are starting to go through all the hormonal changes and how to navigate communicating and, you know, the growth mindsets and things like that, they're doing these workshops. They are partnering with something called Fit for the Mind and working on how it's for 6th, 7th, and 8th graders and their parents and guardians. So I would imagine that then it could actually capture those parents into their club. But I think it's a great project because I spent a weekend with my granddaughter this weekend, and I could have used that. Let's just say I was like, oh my gosh, she's boy crazy. And so, you know, I think this was another really great way, a different type of service project out there.
Love that, Tammy. As an elementary principal, I think it's very much needed.
You know, one thing I did hear is that someone said that they weren't sure, but they might only get 1 new member. Remember that if you just get 1 new member, I personally have seen how 1 new member can turn into 15 new members pretty doggone fast if you get the right new member. So take any members you can, keep trying. 1 new member can turn a club around. All right.
Again, thank you for everybody that shared. And if you have one that you've thought of and you want to add it in the chat, go ahead and do that. And everybody just kind of keep an eye on that chat and see if there's additional ideas that come up. And of course, send messages to those that you want to borrow their ideas or see if they have a playbook. So the next thing that we're going to talk about is creative service projects, and this one will hopefully get you thinking. And as you think about the projects that you have and your community needs, maybe you can identify which of these categories your project falls into, and then maybe these will spark some ideas for different service project ideas that fall outside of areas that maybe you hadn't thought of before. So creative service projects can be incredibly effective in attracting new members. So let's discuss or share some creative projects in each of the areas that are up on your screen now. The first is the eco-friendly initiatives. Examples of these would include organizing community cleanups, creating local green spaces, and or starting recycling programs. Many of us here in 5M, we collect plastic for benches. It's a project that is centered around our ecosystem, our environment, and this is going to attract individuals who are passionate about sustainability. The next is the health and wellness programs. So our Lions Clubs can offer free health screenings, fitness challenges, or mental health awareness campaigns. Projects like these are going to appeal to those that are interested in health and in wellness, while also meeting the needs of your community. Our youth engagement projects, potential projects could include organizing mentorship programs, a leadership camp, educational workshops for our young people. And these initiatives are often inspire our younger generations and hopefully encourage them to join Lions when they're able to. And finally, not finally, but the next one is partnership with local organizations. So these are projects that collaborate with schools, businesses, and other nonprofits for kind of that shared goal, working together to make an impact in our community. Partnering with these groups can amplify our impact and provide opportunities to connect with new and potential members. And the last one on our list here is inclusivity and our diversity programs. So ensuring that our service projects reflect the diverse needs of the community. This can attract people from various backgrounds who are interested in making a difference. So part of our goal tonight was to talk about diversity and how we can diversify our service projects and our membership. So to resonate with diverse communities, it's essential to think about or think beyond the traditional service areas and adopt innovative approaches that reflect the needs, values, and cultural diversity of the people that we're serving. So I want to quickly just talk about some ideas, some projects that maybe are geared towards that inclusivity and the diversity that we're hoping to create. So there's a few that I'm going to talk about here. The first is potentially a digital literacy for all ages. So a project like this could provide digital literacy workshops for all age groups, especially focusing on our seniors, those in small communities, and our underserved populations. We know that technology is really essential now, and these workshops can include basic computer skills, online safety, and how to use social media to stay connected. Another area is providing a community health clinic. In collaboration with a healthcare professional in your community, Lions can set up free or low-cost telemedicine clinics for underserved communities. And this initiative can focus on mental health, maternal and child health, or chronic disease management. Again, just another area that we could focus on to increase that inclusivity in our service projects. The third one, inclusive sports program. So Lions can organize community sports leagues or fitness programs that are inclusive of people with disabilities, including those who may face physical, mental, or social changes. This can include adaptive sports, wheelchair basketball, or dance programs. Also, when we think about our environmental justice or urban gardening, think about how we can attract or bring awareness around urban gardening projects that include planting trees, the development of community gardens, or the installation of green roofs even. We can think about a cultural exchange and awareness program. So as Lions, think about what cultural events do you host or could you host? This could include festivals, fairs, workshops that celebrate the diversity of your local community. So beyond maybe the members that are in your club currently, how can we attract or recruit, advertise to, market to some of our cultural diversity that is in our communities? Lions clubs in this case can partner with local artists, chefs, musicians that can showcase their traditions from their cultures. Also, we can think about emergency preparedness. So could your Lions Club offer free training in emergency preparedness, first aid, disaster response? And that disaster response can be tailored to your specific risk in your area. So flooding, tornadoes, that type of thing. A couple other project ideas include continuing that work with youth mentorship and career development. So is there a way for your club to create mentorship programs where some of the professionals in your group guide youth from diverse backgrounds in their career development? And this could be job shadowing, interview prep, resume workshops, all ways that we can enhance the skills of our youth. Thinking about projects that are centered around the support for refugees and immigrants. So are there services that Lions could assist with or organize that are tailored to the needs of refugees and immigrants, including language classes, job training, cultural integration programs? Lions can also assist in setting up community welcome centers for our newcomers. And then two other areas that I wanted to just mention. Sustainable food systems. Lions are great with food drives, organization, working with local food pantries. So does your club or could your club implement community-based initiatives that focus on sustainable food production or reducing waste? So in this case, Lions can organize food drives, promote food sharing, or create educational campaigns about food sustainability. And then finally, youth and elderly tech connection. And so again, that piece, that technology is just so important in today's world. So is there a way for our Lions clubs to pair young people with elderly individuals to help teach them how to use technology and stay connected to the world? This can include setting up video calls, accessing online services, and just understanding of modern tech. So again, how can we be inclusive in our projects for people of all ages as we continue to move forward and try to attract new members into our club?
All right. So this is a question that I'm going to be asking, and I hope we get some feedback. What makes a project successful? What makes your service project successful? Any hands? No hands. All right. So is a service project successful if it didn't make any money? I see one head shaking, Tammy. That's nice. So what if it didn't make any money? Heck, it lost money, but the community came out, participated in that project. They had fun. Maybe you screened 50 kids, but you had 3 referrals. I'd say that's successful because you just found 3 kids that need help and probably wouldn't have had it without that. What if you brought in a 20-something new member full of energy and your club's all 70 plus? Again, successful because if it's done right, that person's going to bring in their friends, their family, and your club's going to grow with the stronger people who I like to say can carry stuff at different events. I don't know what your name, but your badge says Lions Club. You have your hands up. I was calling on you and now you disappeared. All right, Dawn.
Yeah, I think even if the service project only serves one or a few, as long as it makes a difference in your community or whatever group you're trying to help, but also meets the needs of your members. I mean, the best service projects are twofold. It meets both needs. So it speaks to some passion or some idea that one of your members had, as well as served a need in the community.
Absolutely. All right, we'll try again with Lions Club. And
This is Ann Madison.
okay.
Yeah, I basically was going to say the same thing that you've been saying. If we have two people together at a service project and there is communication and there is sharing, it's successful because the service is about building personal relationships and helping meet a need. And there's so much that can come out of that just in doing something together or doing something for someone. Yes, big events where we've service projects where we have lots of people. Wonderful. That's great. We should not be downcast, I guess, if we plan a big deal for a service project and we have 10 people show up when we were expecting maybe 50, because we can touch those 10 people and we don't know who they touch. And those 10 people could be 20 people in a club potentially.
Yep, absolutely. Just getting word out and being together is success in my book. If you remember the tail end of COVID, right when we were starting to get back to being with people, we did a food drive, but we did it a tailgate drive-through kind of district-wide food drive. This was able to bring people to start getting them back together. They could be distance, but what was said the most was people had missed being around people. So getting together meant that much. And it was successful as far as getting the food, but it was more successful because we brought our Lions together and we brought the community with our Lions. Any other ideas on what makes it successful? Holly?
I was just going to say generally visibility in the community. And I call it, let people see Lions strut our stuff, let them see us at work. We in my town tend to do a lot of town events and we have information, but people are there seeing us in action. We do a summer safety fest with the sheriff's office and we have the iMobile as part of a touch-a-truck and we do screenings and it's just getting word out really. We don't want to be the best kept secret.
Tammy?
Well, I think it's also the partnerships that we develop a lot of times in service projects. We have a large toy drive, and we are at the point where the school district will set the time aside for me. I don't have to go in there. They're so excited. The police are collecting the supplies. They're doing promotions. When I'm getting emails asking if they could have a collection bin in their business, that then becomes successful because they're aware of us, but they're also wanting to be part of what we're doing.
Absolutely. All right. Any other? All right, Rob. Okay, so evaluating your project's success. To ensure your service projects are successful, it is essential to have clear goals and measurable outcomes. You hear this a lot in a lot of different training. Track your engagement through social media and event participation. If possible, get media coverage for visibility. Don't forget to gather testimonials from those who benefited, as their stories can be powerful tools. Lastly, monitor if these projects lead to new members joining the club. Always kind of keep that when you do your service projects, what's the best way to get people interested? Let them see what you're doing. A lot of them are that's gonna be really important for them if they see that you're helping the community and maybe it's a certain area that they're really care about, they're more than likely gonna try to join your club. Successful projects are the ones that are clearly addressed a community need, track participation, and have measurable outcomes. Tracking success can be done through metrics such as a number of people served, media coverage, social media engagement, and the number of new members recruited during or after the project. Testimonials and feedback from participants and beneficiaries can be valuable tools assessing the project's impact, improving the future efforts. Kind of the same thing as if you do a kid site screening and you get this many referrals, you're probably helping kids that never would have known their parents would never have known their kids had some kind of an eye issue. And now they're going to bring them in and they're going to be able to see, and their grades are probably going to be better. They're being around people and socialization is going to be better. It's the little things, but we got to track them so we know what worked and what didn't and what we should do more of. Any questions? Right, Rob?
Right. So next we're going to think about the power of storytelling. And so we all have that story or that thing that really captured us as Lions, and maybe that one or the many service projects or activities that you've done where you've seen the impact and really understood and embraced why you are a Lion and why you have selected to remain and to continue to do the good in the community that you're doing. And so storytelling is one of the most effective marketing tools that we can use. Sharing our stories from project beneficiaries or from your club membership helps to create that emotional connection with potential members. And so think about, hopefully you have an elevator pitch at 60, 90-second just pitch that you give when you are trying to promote and potentially recruit individuals to join you in service. And hopefully that includes that personal story or that personal connection that can kind of emotionally capture someone that you're talking to. And in your club level, if you haven't talked about with members on what is their aha moment or what is their elevator pitch, I would encourage you to do that, because that is the message that you're verbally sharing face-to-face in your community. Because when people see how your work changes lives, they're more likely to feel inspired to join and make a difference themselves with the work that you all are already doing. And so we need to think about what we're doing to help increase our membership. And as we're thinking about our service projects and we're partnering that with, the goal of increasing membership, more hands, more service, more impact in our community, there's just some things that we can think about. If we are marketing, we're increasing our visibility and brand awareness, right? So we do these great service projects, but we have to make sure we're utilizing the media coverage to share. We're closing the loop, right? We do these great things, but then we have to make sure that we're kind of also tooting our own horn and sharing the positive impact through our media coverage of the good that we're doing and the impact that we're making on our community. By doing that, we're increasing our visibility. We need to also make sure that people understand the value of membership in an organization such as the Lions. It truly is a global network dedicated to service, and making sure that people understand that should be a part of your goal as well. Keeping in mind, when you are doing your service projects, you have great ones planned, I'm sure, but think about, is there an open invitation to individuals to also work or also volunteer who might not be a Lion? So making sure that there is awareness that if someone has a passion for an area that you're doing service in, they feel comfortable or know there's an invitation that even though they're not a Lion at the time, that they're invited to participate and to serve side by side with you. We've talked a little bit about targeting specific demographics. So in our projects, in our marketing, if we are trying to increase membership in a specific demographic, perhaps we do a project tailored towards that specific demographic, to increase our diversity and our inclusivity of our clubs. We need to make sure that we're leveraging the use of those media platforms. And so again, we're doing great projects, we're telling great stories. How are we getting it out there? So if you don't have somebody in your club that is promoted to social media, I would consider, how are you sharing that? You, I suppose, could have been a historian. How are you keeping that history alive and sharing it on our social media platforms to inspire others to come and partner and serve with us? And then the final thing that I'll just say is building a strong sense of purpose. All right. So every service that we do, every time that we market that service or market that project, we are reinforcing the core mission of Lions International, which is we serve. Again, we're an organization with a purpose-driven mission, and making sure that individuals know that our motto is to serve our communities, and that we are looking for and welcoming others to serve with us. So again, think about that personal story, and make sure that your club is including that storytelling in the marketing to capture the emotional side of the good that you're doing, and able to share that with others. And Rob, it's over to you.
All right, crafting an effective marketing message. A clear marketing message is essential to reaching new members. It should clearly state the problem you're addressing, explain how the service project is a solution, and include a strong call to action, such as inviting people to participate or join the club. For example, join us in providing free health screening to underserved communities to make an impact today. So a strong marketing message should include the problem. What issue does the service project address? The solution. How does the Lions Club project help solve that problem? And a call for action, a clear invitation for people to get involved or join the Lions Club to make a difference. Again, the call of action, you want to be able to make sure you're including Lions and non-Lions, because the non-Lions part of the community is going to be an important part of this service project. Any questions or any questions on this? Just make sure that when you're putting together your marketing message, whether it be on Facebook, whether it's in your newsletter, kind of follow these three and come up with something that's going to draw the attention to the people. Sometimes a little bit of a graphic will help too if you're doing some kind of a flyer, something to draw their attention to it. And then you address the problem. What's your solution? What this service project is going to be for the solution for the project, and a call for action on how we're going to get people. We want you to come here. We want to get your kids' eyes screened, or we want to raise food. We're trying to do it for these 3 food shelves, something of that sort. Okay? Rob?
Right. So digital tools, we've kind of mentioned those quite a bit tonight, so I'll make this one pretty quick. But leveraging digital tools and social media is really important. It's important because we want to grow our clubs, and again, telling that story, making sure that we're doing that marketing. So these platforms can be used to regularly share project updates, your success stories, and behind the scenes content. Sometimes it's fun to see that behind the scenes workings that are going on. Don't forget, if you're familiar with hashtags relevant to your community, to increase the visibility, and engaging with your audience by responding to comments or sharing user-generated content. That can also help you to grow your reach. My suggestion here would be to offer how-to sheets to educate your members. And so if you have members that are posting on Facebook, make sure that they know how to tag maybe your Lions Club or the community center in your town, or you as a Lions Club, you're going onto the other sites and liking and sharing other posts to build that online presence. So again, social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, your website, your email. If you have events and you're collecting emails, you can send out future information. If you have any videos to share, let's see, I'm skipping through some of these. Sometimes it's great to also go old school. So don't forget about those flyers and those posters. Those are equally as important and in making sure that the presence is out in your community. So sometimes paper printed flyers are work great. And then again, of course, include those stories and the testimonials of all of the good that you're doing in your digital tools and your social media.
I did see recently saw a really good example of a video. It was during a 5K run, and it was two young girls that were they had to have been around the 20 age, but they were driving in a Polaris with the runners, and they were videoing it, talking and giving a little play-by-play, and some of the runners would cheer. It was an awesome video, and you could really get the feel from the 5K and how much fun they were having just by a simple video of them driving and just doing a fun play-by-play during the run. So videos can mean a lot. Same with if you're doing a food drive and you just do some videos and throw it on Facebook Live, that sort of thing. Okay, so integrating projects and marketing for maximum impact. The key to success is integration. Constantly promote your service projects and their impact across all marketing channels. Follow up with people who show interest in your projects, inviting them to join your club, participate in a future activity. Additionally, using data from past projects to help refine your marketing approach, identify strategies that work best for attracting new members. Attract new members. Lions Clubs should integrate their creative service projects with their marketing efforts. Constantly, you got to constantly promote. You can't just think you have this service project and you can send one flyer out to all the presidents and secretaries. That's just not gonna work nowadays. You got to constantly be hitting the social media, putting your flyers out for the best participation, and kind of gear it for all ages too, because you want to draw in these young members. As again, like I like to say, the young members can carry a lot of stuff that we don't have to carry as the older ones. So follow up is key. It's important to follow up with the people who show interest in your project. Invite them to attend meetings. If they show up and they're showing interest in your project, say, hey, we meet third Thursday of the month at 7 o'clock, come by. You don't have to stay for the whole thing, but stay in and just get a feel for what our club has done and what we're doing and that sort of thing for the community. Again, the best way to draw your members is to invite them to your projects, any kind of a service project, whether it's, again, we'll say food drive, your pancake breakfast. In the case of you're doing something bigger, maybe you, like our club does the rodeo, inviting them there to see the hands-on what you're doing and the fun you're having can really draw people in. And plus, when they see where the money's going, maybe childhood cancer, they see that, they're seeing the feel for what you really do and the fun it can be by just being part of a Lions Club. Utilize the data, track the service project, the marketing methods, which are most successful. Did it attract new members? And focus on that. So if, say this service project, you attracted 3 new members. Well, now you want to maybe do a little more for that service project, or if it's one that you could have more than once a year. But make sure that all your service projects that you're utilizing your marketing and your social media to get the maximum impact on it. Rob?
All right. So as we start to wrap up here, we're all working towards mission 1.5, and we all have our mission 1.5 goals. And I know that we are all working on creating those new clubs in our areas, in our districts. And so When we think about the tips and strategies for how to get to those Mission 1.5 goals, how to work on retention and recruitment, these are just kind of a top 10 or 10 list of things that we can do. Number one, create a welcoming and inclusive environment. Number two, enhance community outreach and awareness. Number three, offer flexible membership options. Number four, attract younger generations. Number five, effective recruitment and retention strategies. Number six, highlight the value of leadership development. Number seven, celebrate achievements and success. Number eight, maintain a strong online presence. Number nine, leverage member testimonials. And number 10, consistent engagement and communication. So think about when you see this list, is your club, is your district working on all of these things? If not, is there an area that you could go back and you could take and you could create some of those goals and help your club and your district work towards those Mission 1.5 goals? Does anybody have any comments on any of these? All right.
All right, the key takeaways. Service projects are the key to attracting new members. I honestly and sincerely believe that is the case. Creativity and community focus will resonate. Start thinking about what your community needs and be creative about your service projects and how you can help your community. Storytelling. Storytelling is essential. I think everyone here has some story on what they've done and how it's helped somebody. Utilize that storytelling when you're talking to people that are interested in something Lion-based. Tell them, here's what we do. Did you know that my Lions Club, we helped this kid who he couldn't see, they didn't really know it, the family couldn't afford it. We brought him in, had his eyes tested, he got glasses. His grades went from D's to B's just simply by having glasses. But tell that story. Tell what you've done for Vision Foundation, for Hearing Foundation. Start telling your story about what Lions do. We do a lot more than just collect glasses. Consistent follow-up and tracking. You need to really keep track of that. What worked for getting new members and what didn't as far as your service projects. Because some projects, it reaches the community more and it kind of ties on their hearts a little bit where they think about it and now they have a little interest in joining. Take advantage when they do have the interest and make sure you track that. Track what worked and what didn't work. Anything to add, Rob?
No, good job. All right. So our actionable takeaways for you that hopefully you'll leave here. You feel a little more inspired. You're ready to start a new service project. You're thinking about the different areas that we talked about. We challenge you to develop and implement a new service project aimed at specifically engaging new members. We challenge you to make a marketing plan with strategies that maybe we've talked about tonight, some that you came up with to create that plan for the service project and how it's going to reach the target audience that you've selected. And then finally, make sure, again, the storytelling is a part of the marketing efforts that you're going to do so that you emotionally can connect with the people around you. Again, service, like Rob mentioned, is the way to attract and bring in our newer members. So, Rob, you want to do this one?
Honestly, we'll just want to thank you for your time. Thank you for your feedback. We hope that we had some help with what you're doing. And if you see us, make sure you run and tell us your story. Tell us, maybe you were too shy to say it tonight, but we're always willing to listen and hear your stories because that's what Lions, we do great things and we need to tell everybody all the great things we're doing. I see Denise has her hands up.
Hi, gang. I want to share something. Sorry I couldn't share it earlier, I had my granddaughter on her lap and I was trying to multitask. So she's in bed. If you guys hop out to 5M9's website, and if you go under the resources tab and then go under marketing, there's campaigns out there that we have done that are right aligned with new to the community campaign, and then the excuses campaign. They're step by step instructions out there as to how to roll these campaigns out within your districts. And we are in 5M9 are more than willing to share with anybody that wants to use those materials.
Love that. Thank you, Denise, for that.
No worries.
All right, everyone. Well, thank you for joining us. Hopefully you have a great evening. And again, just from Rob and I, we say thank you for joining us.